children, today let's learn balancing of chemical equations. How to balance a chemical equation. It's very simple. Let us write the equation. Take this example, H2 plus hydrogen plus chlorine gives HCl. So hydrogen plus chlorine giving HCl. How will you balance this equation? First you write the elements that is on the left hand side. What are the elements that is present? You have hydrogen, you have chlorine. Next this side, what are the elements that is present? You have hydrogen and this side it is chlorine. Next see the number of atoms. How many atoms of hydrogen are here? 2. So I write here 2. How many atoms of chlorine are here? 1. So I write here 1. Here how many atoms of hydrogen? 1. So I write here 1. What about chlorine? Here also it is 1. Next you have to see how much atoms of hydrogens are there. Second step. Here you have 2. Here you have 1. So what I do is I multiply this into 2. So how much do I get? 2. This 2 I should put it on the left hand side. You should not add anything on the right hand side. Whatever it is that should be added on the left hand side. This I put it as 2. Now what happens to chlorine here? How many atoms of chlorine is here? There is 2. So this becomes what? I'll rub this. And this becomes what now? 2. But how many atoms are here? 1. So what I have to do? I have to multiply this into 2. That is becomes how much? 2. I add this 2 here. So how many atoms of hydrogen here? 2. 2. Chlorine 2. 2. So it is balanced. 2. 2. Here also 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine. This is balanced. Okay, now let's take this example. Lead oxide PbO plus carbon giving what? Pb plus CO2. Now how will we balance? First let's write the elements. What are the elements on this side? Lead. Then you have oxygen. Then you have carbon. Same way here also you have lead. You have oxygen and you have carbon. Now see how many atoms of lead is here? 1. So I put here 1. Oxygen how much? 1. How many atoms of carbon? 1. What about lead here? 1. Carbon how many atoms? 1. Oxygen how many atoms? 2. So lead is okay 1 mark, but oxygen how much is there? 1 here and 2 here. So I have to change this. How will I change this? I'll multiply this into 2. That is equal to 2. So this oxygen becomes 2 here. Where will I add the oxygen? I will put it on the left hand side. This becomes 2 PbO. Immediately what you have to see, when I put 2 PbO, lead becomes what? 2. So I'll strike it or rub it and make it into 2. When I make this into 2, what should I do here? I should change this also. So I multiply into 2. That's equal to 2. So this 2 where will I put? I will put on the left hand side. So lead becomes 2. This is okay. Oxygen becomes 2. This is okay. Carbon is 1. So this is also okay. Now we'll see the equation. It is balanced. 2 PbO plus C gives 2 Pb plus CO2. I'll give you one more example now. Now let's take this example. Na2SO3 plus BaCl2 gives BaSO3 plus NaCl. Now you try to balance yourself. First, what is the thing you'll have to do? You have to write down the elements. I write sodium, sulfur, oxygen, barium, chlorine. This side you have to see what is. I'll write in the same order so that it's easy for you for doing the balancing. Barium. Barium, I'll write here barium, then sulfur, oxygen, sodium, chlorine. Now let's see this thing. How many atoms of sodium are here? 2. Sulfur 1. Oxygen 3. Barium 1. Chlorine 2. This side, how many atoms of sodium? 1. How many atoms of chlorine? 1. How many atoms of barium? 1. Sulfur 1. Oxygen 3. Now we have to balance it. Here 2, here 1. So what I have to do here? I will multiply this into 2. That is equal to 2. So where should I put 2? I will put it on the left hand side. There 2 NaCl. Immediately you have to see the next element. Chlorine becomes how much? Chlorine also becomes 2. So I will strike this and I will put 2. Next go to the sulfur. Sulfur 1, sulfur 1. So this is balanced, this is balanced. Oxygen 3, oxygen 3. This is also balanced. Barium 1, barium 1. Balance. Chlorine 2, chlorine here also 2. So it is balanced. Now, how is the reaction? Now this reaction is balanced. Na2SO3 plus BaCl2 gives BaSO3 plus 2 NaCl. Now we will see another reaction. Let's see this equation. Al plus HCl giving AlCl3 plus H2. So what are all things you have to write? First Al, then hydrogen, then chlorine. Here also Al, next what element? Chlorine, then hydrogen. How much is Al? 1. Hydrogen is 1. Chlorine is 1. What about Al? Al is 1. Hydrogen is 2. Chlorine is 3. Now Al is 1 and 1. What about chlorine? Chlorine is 1 here and 3 here. So in this case what we do is we'll always make it into an even number. Here there is 3, so we'll make it into even number so that you will be able to put it both the cases. So what I will do, I'll multiply into 2. 3 2s are 6. So here it's 6. So I should get 6 here. So what I'll do, 1 into 6, that is equal to 6. So I'll put here 6 Cl. How many Cl I got here? 6 Cl. So what I should do for here? Here 3 into 2. So I have to multiply this into 2. 2 3s are 6. So 2 into 3. So immediately what happens to the aluminium? Aluminium becomes 2. So what I have to do here? I have to multiply into 2. So I put here 2. Next, what about the hydrogen? Hydrogen has become 6 here. So let's strike this out. I make it as 6. So here what I should do? 2 into 3, that is equal to 6. I have to put here 3. Now see whether the equation is balanced. Aluminium is 2, there also 2. So it is balanced. This aluminium is balanced here, here also balanced. What about hydrogen? 6H, 6H. So hydrogen is balanced. What about chlorine? 6 chlorine, 3 2s are 6 chlorine, here it is balanced. So understood how to balance? So whenever you had the difference in number like 3, 1, you will have to make it into an even number. The element that is at the end like hydrogen, oxygen, all these things you can balance at last because you can add any number there. No need to see the other elements. So always you take the main elements first, aluminium, chlorine, and then go to hydrogen or oxygen. Let's see one more example. Let's see this reaction. CuSO4, that is copper sulfate, reacts with potassium iodide Ki to form Cu2I2 plus K2SO4 plus I2. Now what is the first step? I write down all the names of the elements. Symbols are it's copper, then sulfur, oxygen, potassium, iodide. So what all I have here? I have here copper, I have here iodine, then potassium, sulfur, oxygen. Now let's put the number of atoms. Copper is how much? 1. Sulfur 1. Oxygen 4. Potassium 1. Iodine 1. Here copper 2. Iodine. You have to add anywhere iodine is there. Here 2 plus here 2. So altogether 4. Potassium 2. Sulfur 1. Oxygen 4. So first we will see copper. Copper here how much? 1. Here 2. So what I have to do? I have to multiply this into 2. That is equal to 2. Where will I put 2? I will put 2 here. So once I put 2 here, you have to calculate the numbers for the other element. Sulfur becomes how much? 2. So I strike this out and I make it into 2. Or you can rub it also. If you want, you can rub this. Next, what about oxygen? 4, here it's 4, then I multiply by 2. 4 2s are 8. So this 4 goes and I make it as 8. Next, let's see sulfur here. What about sulfur here? It is 1. Here it is 2. So what I have to do? I have to multiply this into 2. That is equal to 2. So I put here 2 sulfur. So when I put here 2 sulfur, what happens to potassium? Potassium becomes 2 into 2, 4. So I'll strike this 2 and I make it as 4. What about oxygen? 4 2s are 8. So I'll strike this 4 and becomes 8. Now let's see the reaction of copper is 2, here also 2. Sulfur 2, here 2. Next we have to see the main elements. Oxygen will always do it at last. Here K is 1, potassium is 4. So what I have to do? I have to strike this, no, you don't need to strike, you have to multiply. So I multiply this 1 into 4, that is equal to 4. So I put here 4Ki. When I put 4K, what happens to iodine? Iodine becomes 4. So this 1 goes and it becomes 4. So now let's see whether it is balanced. Copper is how much? 2. Here also 2. It is balanced. Sulfur 2. Here also 2. Balanced. Oxygen 8. Here also 8. Balanced. Potassium 4. 4. Balanced. Iodine 4. Iodine 4. Balanced. So this equation is now balanced. 2CuSO4 plus 4Ki gives Cu2I2 plus K2SO4 plus I2. Let's see this equation. FeSO4 giving Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. How do we balance? Write down the names of elements first. Fe. Then what is the next element? Sulfur. Next element is oxygen. Here similarly I write iron, oxygen, I'll write it here. Then comes the sulfur. Next step is what? Write down the number of atoms. So, iron 1, sulfur 1, oxygen 4. What about here? Iron 2, oxygen. You have to add all the oxygen. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. Sulfur. How many sulfurs? 1, 2. I get 2 sulfur. Next you have to make it into same both the sides. So iron is how much? 2 here, here 1. So what do? I multiply into 2. That is equal to 2. So I put here 2. When I put iron 2 here, you have to see the other atoms also. Sulfur becomes how much? 2. I strike this one, put 2. What about oxygen? Oxygen becomes 4 2s are 8. I strike this 4, it becomes 8. Now let's see whether it's balanced. Iron is 2, here 2, here 2. So iron is balanced. Sulfur, here 2, here 2. Sulfur is also balanced. Oxygen, here 8, here 8. Oxygen is also balanced. Finally, you see the equation and check whether it is balanced. I'll give you 2 more examples. You try to do by yourself. Pb3O4 plus HCl gives PbCl2 plus Cl2 plus H2O. Second one, CS2 plus O2 gives CO2 plus SO2. So try to do these equations. If you have any doubts or any difficulty in doing this, do write in the comment box. I'll reply.